just as a warning, I think what I'm about to talk about may come across as anti-American or anti-progress or anti-innovation.
Okay.
Just as a background, I guess, it seems like we're driven to seek, at this point, it seems incremental convenience at any cost, even when it's a net inconvenience, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So it's sort of it seems like the age of false convenience we're in right now. And where I'm seeing this, and I think it started with the freedom afforded by the cordless phone.
Yeah.
You know, battery technology caught up to our needs.
Yeah.
And, you know, all of a sudden in your house, you could have this phone that could go anywhere.
Yeah.
So you got a bigger range of motion and also the possibility of privacy.
Yeah.
It was, you know, I think it was, I remember because
I remember too.
Yeah.
I remember people forget about that, you know, when you got a cordless phone, I mean, you could talk inside and then you could go out and go outside and talk, and then you could tell the person that you were talking to that you're outside.
Yep. And oh, wow. You know, before that you had the 20-foot long spiral cord that you could use and go from the living room to the kitchen if you needed to and things like that. But that thing got all wound up the wrong way and get all tangled and things.
Yeah,
so
you can chew. I think you can. It's a danger to chew on too. Like if a kid chews on it, might burn his lips or something.
Yep, there's a electric current going through that.
Yeah.
But yeah, and that was one of the things too. I was thinking about sort of the benefits is the ability to go outside. Or I was thinking, you know, those phone helplines.
Mm-hmm.
You call in and it used to be, hey, I'm having a problem with my cable box. You know, I'm in the kitchen right now. The cable box is in the basement on the TV.
Yeah.
And the operator says, okay, go down and take a look and see if the black cord is connected to the red input or something like that. So you go downstairs and you're looking at it, and then oh shit, I forgot. You go back upstairs and say, hey, sorry, what color? Black cord and red input, or red cord and black input? And then you go back downstairs and do it again. Where when you have a cordless phone, you have it right up to your ear. You can go down just added to efficiency, I guess. Mm-hmm. Like I said, there's privacy. I think it did basically decimate the teen line industry.
Yeah.
Because I think with the afforded privacy of being able to take the phone from the kitchen or dining room or living room to a closet or something like that, you could get this, or just take it to your bedroom. I guess you don't need a separate phone line in your bedroom when you can carry the phone in there.
Right.
But at any rate, an undeniable net gain for society. But I think that kind of led to this thought that, oh, there's no cord. I'm not held down by the cord with the phone anymore. Look at all the freedom I have. What else is holding me down with cords? Mm-hmm. And now that we have this battery technology, where else can I go that I couldn't otherwise go because I'm stuck, stuck to the wall within a certain, 4 feet, 5 feet, something like that. We've gotten into this line of thinking that just all of a sudden you're just looking for ways to find more convenience.
Yeah.
And the first one that comes, I think after the phone, maybe the next thing, sort of a step in the wrong direction, or started us down this path, was the cordless battery-powered razor.
Yeah.
And I just don't understand why you need the ability to shave somewhere other than 3 feet from the bathroom mirror. Are you going out making breakfast with the razor? You get skin, dried skin and little pieces of hair floating around. Do you really want somebody around you while they're shaving?
No.
I mean, I would imagine if you got one of those stop motion or those ultra, what are those slow motion cameras?
What are they? Not
opposite of
black
time
lights.
Lapse. No, it's opposite of time lapse. So you're taking more pictures per second than.
I know I've seen the pictures. It's like that picture where the bullet's going through the apple.
Yeah.
What is that called?
Time release instead of time lapse?
Time release is like for drugs.
Okay.
Not time lapse. It's like a flickering effect.
Okay.
I can't remember what it's called.
Maybe it's strobe?
Strobe. Is it strobe? Yeah, strobe.
But I can only imagine the skin and hair, that is just a cloud of you walking around as you're shaving. There's no need for that. Stay in the bathroom. You don't need to mine precious metals and do all that stuff in order to be able to shave in your living room, you know? And then, we have the electric toothbrush, So, I can see being like I like to walk around the house brushing my teeth.
I have to.
Yeah.
I've never been able to not to. And I'll tell you this: I think there's something like that means something. First
Yeah.
thing I think of when I put that toothbrush in my mouth is I gotta get the fuck out of this bathroom.
Yep. Mobility of toothbrushing, I think, is important. But do you need a battery to brush your teeth for you? Is the question.
I don't really know that solves that much of a problem either, because I think you can make the same argument that you just made for the shaving your face. I mean, you don't really. I guess you don't. It's tough because I'm a toothbrush walker. You know,
Yep.
I mean,
It's
hard for me to admit some of this.
Well, I am too, but maybe it's if you need to walk with your toothbrush, just do it the old-fashioned way. You don't need to walk around with a
True.
with electronic device.
I guess what I would say is it would maybe the solution is to make it not is to wire it back up. So you're using you kind of have to use the electric toothbrush in the bathroom.
Right, and if you want to go out,
Yep.
grab your portable,
Yep.
and but there's no
You
reason
can always
not.
do that. Yeah.
Yep, you can plug in your toothbrush and brush in front of the sink, and if you don't want to, you have other options. But we don't need a battery to give you free range of motion.
Yeah.
And it comes all down to salt and pepper grinders. Do they need to be battery powered? What are you doing? Maybe 2 or 3 flicks of the wrist.
I just had an idea for a would be I can't. It's weird that I've never thought of this before. No one's ever thought of this before. But has anybody ever thought to do like, if you can imagine this, there's the salt grinder on one side and the pepper grinder on the other. Like they're combined. It's one tube.
Oh, okay.
And when you're turning one way on one and one way on the other, it's grinding both ends. So both salt
yeah.
and pepper are
Sort
coming
of like
out.
you're doing a snake bite idea.
Chinese water torture.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, I wonder about that.
That cuts your grinding time in half, I think, or
think
doubles your
so.
productivity. One of the two.
I think it doubles your predict. Well, wait a minute. No, because it's going to be no. It's not the same amount of time though, because you'd have to. Yeah, you can do the. Yeah, that would definitely save time. I would argue it would save time and productivity.
I think so. Or just put the salt and pepper together in one grinder.
That's true. Or just it would be work even better is just grind it up. Just grind it up and use
Grind
it
it up
ground.
ahead of time?
Yeah,
Yeah,
grind it up
yeah.
ahead of time and just
Yep.
use it ground.
That's what I was thinking with the double one. Even if you're grinding salt and pepper, you just
Yeah.
leave the salt in the grinder until you need it. You
Right.
have some stored up for later.
Yeah.
Just grind the whole thing up.
Yeah.
Yep. But yeah, salt and pepper shakers, razors, toothbrush, lawnmower. If you have a huge yard, yeah, maybe a battery powered one makes sense. But you have a yard that's no more than 50 feet if you live in the city and have a patch to, deal with a cord. You don't have to.
Yeah,
have a battery.
I'm kind of a couple minds. I'm not of a couple minds. I'm only of one mind. I don't know why I said I'm of a couple minds. I really only have one mind about this, and that's that. There's a certain performative aspect to battery powered. I don't know what the cutoff is. I mean, I've got a battery powered chainsaw,
And that's
I don't-
legit
I don't
you're not that's something that needs to be taken a distance away.
Right, and this
plug-in
isn't-
doesn't work, and
This isn't like a macho masculine thing. I just find that in general, it's difficult not to be performative when you're using a battery powered lawnmower, or make it look like you're not. I don't even mean it's. I'm suggesting that you're trying to make it look like, oh, you're saving the environment or anything. But there's just something about them. They tend to look childish and uncanny.
I had a plug-in one. I have a small yard, and I preferred it to a gas mower because I never had to change the oil. I never had to get a gas can to fill it up. I never did anything to it. Didn't have to sharpen the blade. No maintenance, and it lasted for 15 years until the engine burned out.
Yeah.
Something my sister did.
I've never tried to fix I've never kept up on any kind of maintenance or fixed any of my stuff.
But all that sort of back, that's one thing. But I started thinking, given the direction we're going with kind of this craving convenience, these little dopamine or serotonin hits. What
It's
what's that?
Levodopa,
Yeah, one of the whatever hit you're getting from these finding convenience.
melatonin.
Yeah, that's right. Yep. This melatonin hit you get from thinking you did something easier than the
Yeah,
alternative.
exactly.
Even though it's ultimately a less convenient method, but it got me thinking. I wonder what the next iPhone is going to be. There's always something exciting about it, you know.
It's an interesting topic of conversation because you don't hear a lot of people, you know, thinking about that, you know,
Right.
talking about possible future iPhone releases.
Right. And I'm thinking one of two directions. And the first one is they got rid of the headphone jack, and people are all up in arms, if you probably remember a few years ago. Not how am I going to listen to my music and things. And then the whole Bluetooth earbud industry just took off like a rocket. And now you can't even find jacked headphones anymore. Everything is Bluetooth. So iPhone or iMackle, the company
Yeah.
Macintosh
Yeah.
put sort of pushed us in that direction, and I'm thinking the next iPhone may have no connectors at all, no headphone jack, no.
It doesn't. I don't think it even at this. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah,
I'm
not
excited.
even a
Yeah,
no
yeah.
charging jack either.
Yeah, yeah.
Everything, all charging has to be done wirelessly, and I think that might be kind of neat because it would inspire more electrified surfaces. Now your car has a little spot on the dash. The newer
Yeah.
cars where you can charge wirelessly, or people have a charging pad. But if iPhone goes completely undocked charging, people are going to go into a coffee shop and say, "Hey, can I charge my phone here?"
Yeah.
And I have the new phone, so these little USB jacks you have on the wall aren't going to help me. So I think coffee shops are going to have
Like
the countertop
Yeah,
is
yeah,
going to be
right.
the whole table is going to be electrified, so you can set your iPhone on there and charge it up as you're working or. But that starts spilling over to people's houses. Maybe the countertop in
Yeah.
the kitchen is
Well, you
charged.
think about like houses nowadays. They have, you know, in 100 years. Well, I mean, we're all going to be dead. The
Right.
human race is going to be dead by then. But if assuming it's not, but in 100 years, if somebody were to buy a house that was made around this time, they're going to be like, what are all these, you know, small rectangular holes in the kitchen, you know, like right underneath the kitchen counter?
Yep.
You
Yep.
know?
Right. Yep. And
Or
yeah, they're going
aliens
in-
come down and they
Right.
wonder what that is.
What are these things? And people are going to be pulling out their outlets
Yeah.
and filling them in, drywall them over, and things
Right.
like that. And then you start charging your phone on your countertop or your toilet lid. The top of the toilet
Yeah.
could be electrified. You could set your toothbrushes on there to charge up, because then everything else is going to be, oh, the countertop's electrified. We can charge our salt and
Yep.
pepper grinders. All we do is set it there. The floor could be your Roomba could be charged just on the floor. You can just start dropping stuff wherever,
Yeah.
and it charges up. Your phone charges up on the floor.
Why
it
not? Or
charges
why
up.
not just make the entire floor of your house a charger?
Right,
So
just
you wouldn't
make
have to.
You wouldn't have to plug anything in.
Something
Everything.
like that could be done. Like if you got what's the kind of heat you get from the Earth? What's that called?
Radiant.
No, geodesic.
Okay.
Is that what it
yeah.
is? I can't remember what it is.
Yep.
But it sounds like it sounds like you could, while they're doing that, like running those. Whatever they do, they run like tubes under your house or something like that. Like, while they're doing that, they could do, you know, while they're down there, they could do this.
Yep, and or you have those heated floors where you run lines of, I think it's antifreeze or whatever that gets warmed
Yeah.
up, or just run some cords down there too.
Yeah.
and charge anything. But so that's one way. That'd be kind of cool. Everything's no more outlets. Everything is all.
Yeah.
You just set it wherever and it charges up and it's ready to go. Throw your toothbrush in the sink.
Yep.
You drop it in the sink and it's charged up. And when you're ready to brush that night, it just doesn't matter. But then I was wondering the other direction the iPhone could possibly go is sort of be the opposite direction, where instead of getting rid of all the connectors, they actually expand and make it more like a personal care device.
I would love that.
So not only would it have a USB, like new electric cars, they set
Yeah.
them up. They advertise, oh, you can run your house off your car if your
Yeah.
power goes out. So I was thinking the same thing. You could have an attachment where you could attach your toothbrush,
Yeah.
electric shaver. So you have all this battery power right there for
Yeah,
you.
just-
You could shave. It's all these things you can just put in your phone. You know, there's an attachment. There's just a dock for a toothbrush, razor, hair dryer,
Yeah.
curler, built-in makeup mirror, all that stuff. A 12-volt plug where you could plug your laptop into your iPhone to power. You could just
Yeah,
use it
and
as a charging
you can
base.
do any of that stuff. And you know, I have one of those chargers that you put your phone on, and you know, I didn't even notice it, but you can not only put your phone on it, but it's got one of those on the side of it. It's got a little, what do they call those things? Like a port.
Oh yeah,
You can
yeah.
put something else in there.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.